Hey folks, this is Benjy from the Blessing and Family Ministry. Today I wanted to do a video that is just for you guys and gals who are over the age of 28 or 30 years old, and you have maybe been through matching processes before, you've been through experiences before, and maybe you feel a little bit confused or frustrated or a little bit jaded as to how you're supposed to navigate this matching process and go forward, maybe a little bit discouraged. And the reason I'm making this video, guys, is because I've been speaking with a good number of older 30 plus men and women, especially recently, and I've gotten some good feedback from the videos that I've been putting out, especially thinking about you guys, about attraction and about is there somebody for me. Anyways, watch those videos on this channel as well. And so I decided to make this video for you guys because I think it's a unique experience that you're experiencing being in an older age range. And of course, there's so much to unpack, I think, in everyone's lives, and there's not really a identifiable single thing that I can say that applies to every single one. But I'm going to do my very best to attempt in this video to make it applicable to every single person who is maybe over the age of 28 or 30 years old and has been through some experiences. You probably have some work experience under your belt. You probably have been through college, university, grad school, etc. And now you're really kind of wondering, is the blessing for me, first of all? What kind of process should I be looking at right now? And I want to make this video about one thing, just one main thing. And that is the only thing I think that I can give you guys is encouragement. That is the only thing that I can offer. But before we get to the encouragement part, I want to get a little bit honest and a little bit straightforward with you. And if you're watching this video, I assume that that's what you're looking for. That's the kind of content that you are seeking, is something that's really honest and relevant to you. And I'm not going to sugarcoat, I'm not going to beat around the bush. And I think if we get straight to it, some of you might feel like this applies directly to you. Some of you might feel like it doesn't apply and you might get a little offended. I'm sorry if you feel offended by this, but I'm really going to be honest here, okay? All right, so here we go. It's the honest part and then the encouragement part. So stick around for that, for sure. So if you are over the age of 30 or 28 or older, age is an arbitrary number, right, for matching and blessing. But the main point being, if you have been at this for a number of years, if you have been through matching processes before, if you've maybe previously been blessed before and you're trying to figure out how to find the person for you, and if you've been through experiences and you're feeling a bit discouraged at this time about what to do, there's a good chance that there's a reason for that. There's a good chance that your frustration or lack of just success in finding the one person to spend your life and eternity with, there's probably a reason for that. And I'm going to maybe give some outlines of some reasons that could possibly be based on my conversations with people and really getting into their lives and their mindsets. But I want to ask that to you, first of all, if you feel like there's a reason for that. And I promise you, it's not that you're not desirable. And I know that might be part of the thinking, or like there's something wrong with me, or there's something that I'm lacking, or it's this or that quality. I promise you, it's not that. It's not. And I'll tell you why in a second. But first, honestly ask yourself if there's a reason that you feel like you've been at this for a while and you just aren't seeing success. One of the most common reasons that I see in individuals who are in this age group is simply, number one, a lack of priority regarding the matching and blessing, a lack of real emphasis and priority. And you might be thinking, yeah, it's important to me, but then I start to ask people, okay, if matching and blessing and your future family is really important to you, what do you do every single day that reflects that priority and that value and that vision for your life? Unless you're doing something on a daily basis that leads into that reality, into that vision that you have and that priority that you have every single day, such as talking with people, such as socializing, such as networking, such as getting educated, going on webinars, going to workshops, putting yourself out there, making matching profiles, having conversations with people, whoever it may be, with a matching sport, with a parent, with brothers and sisters older than you, people who have been through the same experience as you. If you are doing that every single day, and you can confidently say there's very few people that I meet that have done real significant work and not have any success in finding somebody, okay? So that's an honest question to ask yourself. Is this really a priority for me? And if it is, then you had better be making effort every single day, or at least every single week, to make some kind of communication or give and take with somebody about your process. Because if all the time we're just thinking in our heads like, oh, blah, 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 and waiting and sitting on our hands, waiting around for the magical, God's spiritual sign of the right person, it's not going to happen. So that's the number one, is, are you making your matching process and your blessing a number one top priority in your life? The reality that I've seen a lot of people go through is that they went to university, they went to college, GPA, and they went to grad school, and they always said, I'll put it off someday after I'm not so busy anymore. I will finally have the time and space to think about matching and blessing. Of course, I understand that, and I think that's a reasonable thing to think. However, the reality is that the older we get, the more busy we become. It's not like as soon as we graduate university or grad school or get our PhD, we're going to become any less busy. The correlation is that the older we get, usually the busier we get, because we have more responsibilities and more things to go into. So if you are in a place where you're thinking like, oh, as soon as I do this or that, then I would actually challenge that and consider that as human beings, we are designed by nature to be able to manage and balance both family life and career. We've been doing it for all of eternity, all of history, human history. We've been able to manage our family, having a family, raising a family, while also simultaneously being able to have a career and make a living and put food on the table. So it's not a one or one. It's we're supposed to be able to do both. And if it's a situation where you really cannot fathom the idea of having a family and running your career at the same time, I would really question as to if the time or the time management that you're putting into your career and your work in general is really healthy, first of all. I myself have a full-time job. I have so many things going on all the time. And at the same time, I do make it a priority to spend time with my kids every single day. We go take them outside to the park, something. I do spend time, the mornings, the evenings, as much time as I can with my kids, and I do go on date nights every week or every other week with my wife. So I make it a priority to do both. So that comes into another reason that maybe sometimes we put this off, or we feel a little bit discouraged when we get older, is that we're not actually truly excited about the idea of going through matching process. And we kind of put it off out of fear or uncertainty. And now this is, again, disclaimer, I don't want to offend anybody, but ask yourself that. Is this something that you're putting off not out of priority or anything, work or anything like that, but really because you don't really honestly want to do it, or you don't really honestly feel like it's important, or you aren't really excited about the idea of talking with someone and creating a life together? And if that's the case, that's also an important consideration. And I'm going to give some maybe advice later in this video about how you can manage that and how you can probably maybe try to change it a little bit, okay? So the second most common reason that I see individuals who are in the 28, 30 plus and beyond age group getting frustrated about their matching process and how to move forward is simply being too particular about the person that they're looking for. Now, this is really common, and it's especially hard right now nowadays, because the tendency in our culture is to always try to find the best person out there, meaning who is the most qualified, most handsome, most educated, making the most money, most in line with my goals and my career and my vision. And the reason that doesn't work for the vast majority of people, because if everybody did that, then nobody would get married. Nobody would, because there are not many people out there that match all the criteria that the worldly standard portrays in terms of the perfect woman or the perfect man. It's unrealistic. And if you are in this boat of people who are very picky and particular about the person that you're looking for, I would really consider that maybe the qualities that you're looking for are not based on anything that's realistic, and it are more superficial qualities that are really important. What kind of vision does this person have? What kind of habits does this person have? How does this person show up in real life at home? And if you really want to read a wonderful book on this, then I really recommend a book called Real Love and Dating, which is by Greg Bear. It's a wonderful book, especially for this demographic. And I recommend it because the one thing that he mentions early on in the book, which I absolutely think is fantastic, is that If you find two individuals who experience real love in their lives, meaning that they experience God's love, then they can make a marriage work. So at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters in a successful marriage is that two individuals experience love in their lives and are able to to receive that love and express that love to people around them. And if you have two of those people together, they can make a beautiful relationship. It doesn't have to be as complicated as we have to have the same this and the signs and the Gemini and the Leo and the whatever. I don't even know. But all the things that we tend to think are important, I would really question them and allow you to really honestly question if those qualities and factors that you're considering in a person are realistic or they're just more superficial things. And that might be hard to hear, but I really, really want to challenge you to question that. And I know that I've talked with folks all over the world, different parts of the world, who are like, they have to be half this and half that, half black, half Japanese. They have to like doing yoga. They have to, have this kind of career already set. They have to have their master's degree. They have to be, at least making this amount of money. I've heard all of these. And then when we really get down to it, I'm like, do you realize that there's maybe 1 or 0 people in the entire planet, and that matches your faith-based system, that matches your criteria for an individual? There's nobody. So good luck finding that person. So the reason that this also in particular works to really open your mind, open your pool of individuals that you're considering, it will instantly open up the opportunities for you to network and to communicate with people. There are people all over the world that are perfectly amazing individuals, strong individuals that meet your basic criteria. You just have to be a little bit open-minded. And second, if you open up your pool of individuals, you allow God to work. We can't forget that. We cannot forget that the blessing is something that is given by God. The blessing is something that God initiated from the beginning of time. And this is your opportunity to receive that blessing and to pass that blessing on to your family and the people around you in your life. We cannot forget that God wants to work through your process. God wants to work through the ability, through your heart and your decisions. And if you let God work, and if you open up your pool and your mind, become open-minded to the possibilities, God is able to work like that tremendously. Okay? Okay, so now that we got those honest questions out of the way, I'm really glad to be bringing up these conversations, because I'm really trying to help you guys. I'm not trying to offend anyone or anything like that. I'm really trying to be helpful. So be sure to ask yourself these honest questions. Try to self-evaluate honestly yourself and have some introspection into yourself and ask yourself if there's anything that's really holding you back. Maybe it's a limiting mindset, or if it's a habit or a bad habit or an addiction or emotional issues or whatever it is. Ask yourself those questions and try to make the steps. You got to make the steps to remedy those, okay? So right now I'm going to give you 3 recommendations to help remedy your situation, okay? And they're practical, I promise, all right? Somewhat practical. The first one is, it's really important to be able to see the beautiful qualities in yourself. This is first and foremost. You've got to be able to see. In other words, being able to see the God-given qualities in yourself. If you can do that, if you can see how beautiful you truly are, not externally. I don't care what you look like externally, but I can confidently say that you are a beautiful human being internally. And if you can see those qualities of yourself that you bring to the table, that you bring to your relationship, that you bring to your matching process, then if you can see how God is inside you, then you'll be able to see how God is working in other people too. Then you'll be able to see those beautiful qualities in other people too. But you cannot see the God-given qualities in another person, the beautiful qualities in another person, unless you're able to see them in yourself, first and foremost. And on top of that, guys, if you can see the attractiveness, the attractive qualities of yourself, then other people will be able to see that in you too. It will transfer over to other people. It will rub off on other people as well. Okay? So, and I've seen this a lot with candidates, people who, one guy in particular who's really, I was helping through the process for a number of years, and he's kind of skinny and short and but the thing is, he doesn't really have much going for him externally, but he has a really solid relationship with God, and he He just really, really knows his value. He knows his innate value. He knows what he offers to a relationship. He knows what he brings to the table. And every conversation that he was having with somebody, a potential spouse, he brought that to the table. And with that confidence under his belt, it was easy for other people to see that, to look past any maybe physical attributes that some people, in today's society might feel is less desirable. But they can see past that because he sees himself truly first and foremost as a child of God. So when he goes into a matching process, it's not, I'm bringing that I'm short and skinny. He's bringing, I'm confidently a child of God and I bring so much to the table. That is a completely different game. If you can bring that confidence to any conversation that you go into. Okay? So that's another reason why it's really important to see yourself from God's perspective, so that you can see others from God's perspective, and so other people can see you from God's perspective. Okay? So that's number one. The other recommendation that I can give is, and I give to folks all the time, is you got to be productive with your time, meaning every single day doing something that leads into your vision, that leads into your priority of matching and blessing. If you believe that the matching and blessing is for you and it's something that you really value and want to experience for your life, if you truly believe that, then you've got to reflect that on the daily level. Otherwise, you're just fooling yourself. You have to be making investment every single day, whatever it may be, such as talking with a parent or matching sport, or having give and take with anybody, brother, sister, somebody, older brother and sister, someone who's been through it before. Whether it's doing hundoke every day, whether it's going through educational content such as joining MatchNet, the MatchNet program, which we give educational content through that platform as well. Whether it's, making a matching profile and fine-tuning your matching profile, or just putting yourself out there, going to workshops, whatever it is, doing something every day. Because not only will it almost ensure that you're on the right path to getting to where you want to go, but at the same time, if you make a daily habit to do something for your future, it will send a strong signal to your brain, to your body, to your spirit, to God, that you are serious about this, that this is not business as usual, that something is changing and something is about to change. You are sending that strong signal to your life. If you can make daily habits, tweak your schedule a little bit to make this a priority, because you will instantly be reminded every day, like, oh yeah, this is important. Okay, so if you haven't joined MatchNet already, I really recommend doing that, because MatchNet is designed to give you constant stimulation of growth all the time. Every day there's something for you to do, so that you can send that strong signal to your brain. Okay, so that's number 2, is just be productive. Just make a daily habit of doing something, even if it's 5 minutes a day, even if it's 10, 30 minutes a day, do something. Or if you really don't have the time, an hour a week on a weekend, or a few hours on the weekend, just make that your schedule, make that your plan. Because like I said, if this is a priority for you, you've got to have it reflect on the daily habitual level for sure. Okay, so the third important thing that I recommend to folks, and I want to recommend to you guys in this age group, is proactively reaching out. Proactively reaching out. It's really tempting to just kind of sit on our hands and just think that maybe someone will reach out to me, or maybe like, oh, I've had my profile up for 6 months or a few years even, and no one's reached out to me. And it's not going to happen unless you're proactive. You've got to be proactive. You cannot sit on your hands and wait around for spirit world to send you a sign, or God to send you a sign, or the right person to magically appear in your life. You've got to reach out. You've got to proactively put yourself out there. Put yourself on a matching profile. Do it. I know that sounds scary, but many people, I'm talking many people, have had success with matching profiles, okay? Put yourself on a matching profile. Put yourself out there. Go to workshops. Put yourself on video. Make videos. I don't know. Be active and just put it out there to the world. Go to morning devotion, hundoke, whatever it is, but to put yourself out there and just do that, all right? Being proactive in reaching out is crucial and important. Let your team know that you want to be proactive. Your parents, your matching sport, whoever's on your team, let them know, I want to be more proactive. You guys, I want to activate you guys to go out and find someone, okay? But that's not enough. You cannot just wait for somebody to come to you with a suggestion or whatever, right? You got to go. Okay, so now we get into the encouragement part. If you have been encouraged so far in this video. I am so happy to hear that. That's really what I wanted to do. But if you need some more encouragement, I really want you guys to check out a really cool interview testimony that we did with Natasha and Don Phillips. I'm going to put it in the description right down below. And it's a testimony of an older couple that was blessed pretty recently. And they just have a wonderful emotional story and vulnerable. They get really honest, and I think that you're going to find it really helpful and really inspiring and encouraging. So go check that out. But I just want to finish this video by giving you a little bit more encouragement. Okay, your life is in your hands. Your blessing is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. It entirely is. And the more you can make this priority reflected in your daily life, your daily habits, then you will almost guarantee to have the best process moving forward, okay? You've got to change things up. Have give and take with people, your team. And if you can do that, if you can change things up a little bit, change up your routine to make this a priority in your life, then you'll be sending a strong signal to yourself and to God and the universe that you are serious and something different is happening. So be sure to make actions every day, even if it's just talking with somebody every day, even if it's just reporting to a parent or matching sport or somebody about how you're doing internally and internalizing what you're learning. And that is a fantastic and creative way to make sure that you're on the right path to receiving the blessing. Okay, for myself, the one thing that I can leave you with that helped me the most was simply just having a strong vision for what I wanted my family to be, who I wanted to be, not what kind of relationship I wanted or what kind of spouse I wanted. No, it's like, who do I want to be? What kind of spouse, what kind of man or husband or father do I want to be? And then every single day since I made that vision for myself has been working on creating that reality in my life every single day. And it's through having that strong vision and proactively working on it every day that we've been blessed for 10 years. I'm fairly young myself, but we've been blessed for 10 years and we have 2 children who are 6 and 4 years old. There's a lot to unpack there, and it's not smooth sailing the whole time. There's a lot of difficulty that my wife and I went through. But what makes us different, I think, than from the societal view of marriage is that no matter how difficult our relationship became, especially around the 4 or 5 year mark in our blessing, was that we are constantly able to work through it and grow through our experiences no matter what. Even at the very bottom of our relationship, we never, ever considered, even for a second, that divorce or breaking our blessing was a possibility. Because we know that the entire purpose of this blessing, the entire purpose of our family and our relationship is to grow every single day, regardless of the experience that we have. Is at the end of the day, if I can say that we both grew from this experience, that we both are able to love the other more with a deeper heart, if we're every day able to expand our capacity to love another person. That is the purpose of this relationship. And it's through fulfilling that purpose that we begin to resemble the heart of God. We are able to resemble the unconditional love of God in a balanced way, a masculine and feminine way. And we're able to pass that love on to our children and to everybody around us. And that is the beauty of what the blessing is that there is no space for giving up or I didn't choose this path or I didn't sign up for this. No, it's entirely my responsibility. It is entirely the ownership of me that chooses the path that I am on. And that's the message I want to give you. That's the encouragement, is that your blessing is in your hands. Your life and your future is in your hands. There is no room to sit around and hope that maybe there is a sign or there is some kind of magical thing that's going to happen that's suddenly going to make sense or this person's just going to appear and you're going to say, oh, that's the person. It's not going to happen. It's not. You've got to be proactive and be a little bit open-minded and put yourself out there, and you will see success. You might not see it right now. I know you might not see it right now. It might not be very clear to you right now that the investment you're putting in yourself is going to have any impact on the future, but it will. Why? Because the success of any blessing, guys, anyone who knows this, anyone who's married for more than 5-10 years knows this. The success of any marriage is simply based on the foundation of the ability to work on yourself, to grow yourself through any experience, and never to blame the other or to say that they should do this or they should do that or they should change. Simply the ability to change myself. is the foundation for a successful marriage and a successful blessing, okay? So if this video was helpful, I'm really glad to hear that. If it was encouraging, I'm even more glad to hear that. So please consider sharing it with people. Do subscribe to this channel because we're going to have a lot more content coming for you guys. And also, join MatchNet. Go to bfm.familyfed.org/matchnet. I think you're going to have a lot of really stimulating content you're going to be receiving every day from there. And yeah, thanks for watching. God bless. We love you. Take care.